Hi there, students. That's the last straw. The last straw is a phrase that we use to mean that this is the limit of endurance. That there have been a series of things that have been happening. And this final one in the series is the thing that brings about the collapse, or it makes somebody lose their temper. So the children had been shouting all night and running around all night. But when they broke a window, it was the last straw, and I got really angry and shouted at them. Okay, so the last straw is the final problem or the final difficulty in a series of difficulties that makes you lose your temper or brings about the end or the collapse or the destruction of something. Okay, there was a very big earthquake that damaged the city, but a year later there was an enormous fire, and that was the last straw for the city, and people moved elsewhere. Okay, so the city collapsed, it went into ruin. Okay, this phrase, the last straw, is from the story about the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, straw is what animals eat, is what cows eat in winter, is dry grass. And there's a story about a camel which was loaded with straw, with more and more straw. And he had a huge load on his back. And finally they put one more straw on his back, and he collapsed. Okay, so the series of things, more and more and more weight, till one final thing, even though it's very small, brings about the collapse. Okay, so we very often say this is the final straw, this is the last straw. So it's the last in a series of unpleasant events or bad things that happen, which mean that you decide you cannot continue to accept the situation. My boss was making me work really hard, but I endured that. But when he said that I couldn't have any holidays, that was the last straw, and I resigned. So that was the final piece that made me angry, and I said, this cannot continue. Yeah? The government had had a lot of political scandals, but when the Prime Minister was caught embezzling, stealing money, that was the last straw for the government, and the government collapsed. Okay? So, the last straw, that's the last straw. I can't take any more. The last straw, the final problem that cannot be overcome. Just one more bit that's too much. The last straw that broke the camel's back, so the camel collapsed. Okay? So, when something happens and you can't take any more, you say, that's the last straw. I will not endure this situation anymore. Okay? The last straw, the last in a series of problems or disappointments or things that make you angry, that finally mean you lose patience or you don't trust someone anymore. I lent him my car and he crashed it, but I said, it's okay. I lent him some money and he said he couldn't pay me back. But when he ran off with my girlfriend, that was the last straw, and I said, you are no longer my friend. Okay? The last straw, the final one, or the final irritation in a series that stretches your endurance, your strength to continue beyond the limit. Okay? So, the last straw. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.